This is the Beatles, ladies and gentlemen. And this is called Beatles 1962. Where am I pointing it? Right there? Where do you want me to point it? Okay. Now, what makes this so spectacular? These are legitimate photographs. These are not like, photocopies or laser printed. These are prints of real PR photos from the Beatles in 1962. Now, if you're a Beatles fan and you're crying because, I just saw a piece at a place we were invited to go, secondhand. Somebody who knew somebody said, if you want to go to this, it's this date, blah, blah. And then I looked it up. And do you know there's I may have the number slightly wrong. If I have it wrong, I'm way under. But John Lennon's suit just sold for one suit he wore for $50,000. And I think I'm low. I'm certainly not high. But I think that's what it sold for. The Beatles stuff is crazy. And so it can intimidate you out of something you love. Now, this is Monet Beatles. Why do I say that? There's no signature. This is just an impression. It's much more than that. It's not Monet in that it's impressionistic. But it's just a moment in time. And that's why I love the scenes of Monet in his garden, is that moment and thinking about him sitting there painting those beautiful pieces. Okay? You don't have to have the real deal to enjoy a moment in time, to enjoy something special, to have something that is from that. Some photographer was there at this time taking these photos, and you are one of probably many, but a special many, who have the prints, and yet it's put together in a piece you can be proud of. You can be as proud of your Beatles art and pop culture as any work of art that may inspire you in any other way. I knew that. I was getting to that. This piece here is special in another sense, that up here in the top you have, this is the crossroads. Up at the top you see Ringo there. Down here in the bottom, that is the other drummer, John Malkovich, Marilyn Manson. All right? That is the original drummer. And this is 1962. And then down here, you've got Ringo. So this is at the crossroads right there, folks. So it's a stunning piece. And I'm just telling you, don't get in the frenzy of mine's bigger than yours, okay? If you love the Beatles, enjoy the Beatles. You don't have to spend a fortune, but neither is this free, all right? It's not cheap, but it's certainly not a $50,000 John Lennon suit, okay? It's just a spectacular piece of legitimate photographs. Of course, they're prints and no signatures, but stunning. And if you're a Beatles fan, you're going to love it for the rest of your life. I'm not a Beatles fan. I love the Beatles, don't get me wrong, but I'm very careful with the word fan. Fan to me denotes a certain level of, dedication. I'm not dedicated to the Beatles. I never pulled my hair out when Paul McCartney sang. Although I almost did when he started Wings. I was in junior high school going into high school, and I was crazy about that Wings garbage. So I was more of a Paul McCartney and Wings than, the first John. My brother used to listen to the Beatles because he was of that time. He was just a little bit older than me. And the Beatles would be on. I'm like, I don't like them. I was a kid, And then this song comes out. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I really love to watch them roll. That was John Lennon. Not even his most popular song, but it was one of his last big hits. Got a lot of airplay in California. And that's when I discovered John Lennon. I must have listened to that damn record 1,000 times. So I was a late bloomer when it came to Beatles, and I discovered them individually before I discovered them collectively, and I've come to appreciate them like many other people. But I'm still very, very, very reluctant to use the word fan, because I really think that goes to people who are just dedicated. And if you are a fan, there is absolutely no shame in this piece. It is gorgeous. It is stunning. I just think it's one of the most beautiful Beatles tributes of the really one of the most seminal moments in their life, when that band was taking shape, when the old drummer was out and Ringo comes in, and they're getting ready to just take the world by storm. So I think in that respect, the Beatles piece 1962 is one of our very, very special pieces that we have at the studio store. All right, we're going to take a very quick break. I'll let you look at this before we go. Hold on, but give you one last look of it. And by the way, this is an official Beatles product, just so you know. This is from Apple Corp Ltd., not Apple like Apple iTunes or Apple Steve Jobs. Don't worry, he's not going to pop up and say, there are updates available. There's nothing on this picture that's going to pop up at you and say there are updates available. It is a Apple Core Ltd., a Beatles product. All right? This is an official product, the real deal. All right, enjoy it as we go to a quick break, and I'll see you back here in a minute.